graduation ceremony for the IB Diploma Program Class of 2015. If you would please rise for the processional of this class of students.
Thank you. You may be seated. I am pleased to welcome you here tonight. My name is Dana King. I'm principal of Millbrook High School. Tonight's activity must seem like just something else in a great week of activities to recognize the work that your children have done to bring them to these graduation activities. We had rehearsal last night at the Civic Center, IB graduation today, baccalaureate senior reception Sunday, and then of course Monday night, and I hope that I get to see all of you there as well. What I like about this more intimate environment is you get to be up close and personal with the people your children have spent so much time with on a day-to-day basis for the last 4 years. But it doesn't go unnoticed, parents and supporters, that not only did your children participate in this diploma program, they worked on their on their personal project in 10th grade, and you were there. You were behind them. They worked on their CAS activities, and you were there, and you supported them. And their extended essay, and all of the work that went into their presentation and that final product, and you were there to keep them going. They could not get through a program with this level of intensity and high level of expectation without you. So I would like to recognize and applaud the parents and supporters who are here tonight for our students. There's another group of folks in the room that I would like to recognize with the Millbrook faculty and staff who are here in support of these students. Please stand briefly to be recognized. Students, thank you for recognizing that your parents and staff worked really hard to get you where you are today. You represent the highest level of academic achievement on our campus, and I am very proud of you. I would now like to introduce our guest speaker. Tyler Confrey Maloney is the founder and CEO of Undercover Colors. Tyler graduated from the International Baccalaureate program at Broughton High School in 2009 and went on to study materials science and engineering at NC State. During college, Tyler took a gap year to South Africa, where he worked at Mahololoho Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, directed a TEDx conference, and studied biologically inspired engineering with biomimicry in South Africa. Undercover Colors is a startup company creating nail polish that changes colors when it comes in contact with date rape drugs in a spiked drink. They have developed a working prototype, raised over $1 million in angel investment, and operated their laboratories right here on NC State Centennial campus. Please welcome a fellow IB graduate and entrepreneur, Tyler Convery Maloney.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations. IB class of 2015. That seems crazy to me. I graduated in 2009 from Broughton High School right down the road. Didn't have a IB program at Millbrook at that time. And it seems like just yesterday. Thank you for the kind introduction. I was going to tell you guys a little bit about that, but that's kind of the basis for it. I was a graduate of NC State, graduated last year in 2014. Founded a company in our senior design project called Undercover Colors. We identified a problem that we saw on college campuses and really wanted to do something entrepreneurial that had a social justice component, that seen people who had been victims of this crime and wanted to do something about it. So one of my friends came up with the clever idea. We wanted to develop technology that could be packaged and delivered in a way that people would actually use it. There's test strips that test for these drugs, but they're not very reliable. And no one uses them because it's awkward and conspicuous. You're not going to pull it out. So we wanted to do something that that college kids would actually use to try to prevent this crime and help prevent a lot of pain for people. So I'm not really here to talk about that today. I talk about that way too much already. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about was a couple of things that I think you've already learned through the IB program, you started to learn through being here, that are tremendously important. And at least for me, over the last 6 or 7 years of my life, had a really big impact. And the three things that I think you guys have already started to pick up on are the importance of taking risks, the importance of working hard, and the importance of learning to think for yourself. So I'm going to go through those. So the first one, taking risks. You guys have demonstrated that already. There may be a couple of parents here who encouraged you to go into the IB program, but you decided to do it on your own. You didn't have to. You didn't know what it would look like. There was no carrot at the end of the tunnel. You decided to take really tough classes with some of the best teachers in the school. And I'm sure none of you guys were ever worried that your grades would drop because of it, or that you wouldn't have a social life anymore because of all these papers. But you decided to do it anyways. And I think that's a really important lesson that you should continue to follow as you move forward. For me, after I graduated, I ended up, after my sophomore year of college, I loved NC State, but I didn't really know why I was in school. I hadn't been able to connect my education to kind of a higher purpose. So I decided to take a risk, and I took a gap year and bought a one-way ticket to South Africa with the half-hearted support of my parents, which was as much as I could ask for. And I ended up working at a wildlife rehabilitation center. So I started out by going with what I knew, which is that I cared about the environment, I cared about animals, and I wanted to start there. Well, over the course of that year, I ended up moving from being strictly wildlife focused to working with biomimicry South Africa. That was pretty good pronunciation. I was impressed. And what they do is bio-inspired engineering. So they look to nature for ideas and then try to emulate those into human design and human engineering. It's the whole Da Vinci flying machine, right? Looking at birds and trying to figure out how we can get to airplanes. And for me, this was monumental. It was the first time that I understood why I was solving y equals x, in so many different classes again and again and again, understanding how my engineering applied towards something that was much more important. And I came back to school. I did go back to school, parents, go to school, graduate college. And for the first time, had really understood why I was learning. I went from being one of those kids that did well but sat in the back of the class to being one of the kids that sat up in front and went and talked to professors afterwards and got involved in research. And most importantly, I started to really enjoy learning. So I think that's thing number one. You guys have already proven that you know to do that, but continue to take risks as you go forward. I would not have met nearly as many amazing people or seen such cool places if I had taken the safe path. And I think you'll discover that too as you go forward. Thing number two, another one that I know you guys have learned is to work hard. There's been a ton of work over the last 2 years. You are in high school and you've already written, how long is your extended essay?
4,000 words.
4,000 words. The next time that I wrote a 4,000 word essay in college was when I put my business plan together as an engineer. So that's probably not going to be the same for all of you guys, but that is incredibly important. There's people who you'll see in college like to talk about doing things, and there's people who go out and actually do them. And you've already identified yourselves as the kind of people who go out and do them. And that's huge. As I said, the next time I wrote that with my business plan, I was up against a bunch of engineers in a competition for about $15,000 at a competition called E-Games. We were seniors, we hadn't gotten any funding or gotten the company off the ground or anything. And I was way more comfortable diving into that and trying to craft an argument of that length than anybody else I was up against. And we ended up winning that competition. It was Shark Tank style, and go up and present in front of a bunch of angel investors and people that have been way more successful than I could ever dream to be. And we won and met our first investor through that and got the company off the ground. So continue to work hard. Don't get too caught up in the college life, and it will pay off as you continue to go forward. Thing number three is to think for yourself. And you have a remarkable head start on this over any other high school kids in the country. I didn't realize it at the time, but theory of knowledge is a pretty incredible class. Not many people get introduced to philosophy when they're 16 and 17 years old. And you may have been like me, and at the time found it incredibly frustrating. Mr. Barron was actually my theory of knowledge teacher.
No. Oh my God.
And we sat down for coffee. We were talking about doing this, and he asked me, honestly, what was your thought? What's at the forefront of your mind when you think of theory of knowledge? And I sat there for probably a minute and a half. I said frustrating. That was the only thing I could think of, because I was used to knowing, to having a black and white answer, to getting things right or wrong. And in that class, I'd always put something forward that I thought was so profound. And then someone would come back and say, well, actually, what about this? And I thought it was incredibly frustrating at the time, but that is what the real world's kind of like. There's always two sides to a coin. And you guys have been exposed to that and already started to have an opportunity to form your own opinions on what you believe. And that's huge. So relating that back to kind of what we've done with Undercover Colors, it became a very controversial issue. The idea went viral. When we brought on our first investment, it went all over social media. It was featured in New York Times and Good Morning America, the pinnacle of the new world, BuzzFeed. And we were really excited to have all the support. We had a lot of people write and say what a wonderful thing they thought it was, and share their stories, personal stories, and say how important they thought it was we were doing. We also had people who didn't believe that we were taking the right approach, thinking that what we were doing was actually putting the burden on the wrong people, and that we should educate men not to commit crimes, not people to protect themselves. And that was a tough thing to hear, because this was a very personal thing for us. We cared a lot about what we were doing. It was a very genuine reason that we founded the company in the first place. And to have that criticism was difficult. But at the end of the day, I had to sit down and take a couple of days and really think through the problem again and say, do I really believe in what we're doing? Is this the right way to approach this problem? And came to the conclusion that I do absolutely think there's importance in changing the whole culture around gender equality, but that we need a practical solution. And we've been trying to educate people not to do this for a long time. It's an important component. We need a practical solution as well. So you guys have already been exposed to that kind of thinking, to understanding how to form your own opinions, and you have a head start over everybody else you're going to college with. So 3 things: take risks, work hard, and think for yourself, and you guys will find yourself having a very, very exciting and fun couple of years ahead of you. So that's all I'm going to say. I'll keep it short and sweet so you guys can get off to summer. But congratulations, good luck in all your future endeavors, and if I can do anything to help, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Clearly, you can see years down the road the value, the power of the lessons of theory of knowledge. I would like to take a moment now to invite to the stage three of our seniors, Marin Harold, Avery McClure, and Nathaniel Smith, who are going to present a tribute to their IB diploma class and to their IB diploma experience.
So we wanted to dedicate this song to our IB family because we came as many individuals from different groups and backgrounds and kind of left as one community. So this song is for all of us. This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, sound of one who makes that choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices too. The sound of me singing with you, helping each other to make it through. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices too. This is the sound of voices three, singing together in harmony, surrendering to the mystery. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of voices three. This is the sound of all of us, singing aloud in the will to rest. Leave the rest behind, it will turn to dust. This is the sound of all of us. This is the sound of all of us. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is the sound of one voice, one people, one voice, a song for every one of us. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. I will never get over the talent of the people we have the pleasure of working with. Speaking of talent, I want to invite some more talent up to the podium. We'd like to ask now our student speaker to join us. His name is Avery McClure. Mr. McClure is an engaging, caring, and inquiring young man. He's a member of Millbrook's executive board, an avid participant in Millbrook's theater program, and an overall outstanding example of what the IB program represents. Ladies and gentlemen, Avery McClure.
That was great. All right. Way to go, you guys. Awesome. All right. Well, I wrote up a speech for you all, so I'm going to read it all to you now. Thank you all for coming, by the way. So, the IB program. What an eventful and thought-provoking 2 years. Throughout my time in this program, I've learned so much, from the intricacies of biology to the spirituality of Chinese religions. My horizons have undoubtedly been broadened. But far and away, one of the most prominent lessons that I've learned in this program is the crucial importance of acronyms. Acronyms are everywhere you look. Every class, every assessment, every idea in this program is represented by a series of capital letters. We've got IAs, internal assessments, extended essays, EEs, got HL, SL, TOK, AOK, WOK, CAS, DP, MYP. These are all real. These are all real things. For my theater people, we have the RI, the IPP, the TPP, and the PPP and the TPPP. Again, these are real. And don't ask me to tell you what they mean because I truly can't remember. They could mean anything. Maybe it's a Swiss thing. Maybe the people in Geneva just don't have time to say all these words individually. I don't know. Even our own Mr. Barron has taken it upon himself to create an acronym, the EEE, Extended Essay Extravaganza. I'm thinking maybe it's an IB initiation rite. You have to come to the board and say, I don't really know. It's not a cult. It's not a cult. Sometimes it feels like that. So with this in mind, whatever the reason may be, acronyms have been a defining feature in our lives for the past 2 years. So with this in mind, I would like to present you all with one final acronym to take with you and to remember. I think that these 3 ideas embody our experience together. C, community, U, understanding, and P, passion. So cup, if you will. So first we have C. Is this the right direction for you guys? C, community. In my view, the most valuable part of this program has been the community that it's fostered. It's so rare to be surrounded by a group of talented and motivated peers, all with different perspectives, who can challenge and push one another to do their best. And that's what I found with you all. The IB community is pulled together by common experience. We've all struggled through the papers, the impending deadlines of this program. We've all stressed over the final exams and rejoiced when they were finished and over and done. And we've all shared times of relaxation, bonding over bananagrams, Enoing, and jamming out 2 tunes in Mr. Hoskins' room. But this community of tight-knit, talented individuals will soon disperse. I hope that as we move on to our respective colleges and beyond, we will seek out a community similar to this one. Strive to surround yourself with people who have different beliefs than you, who challenge you to look beyond your tried and true methods. Be with people who will be uplifting, encouraging, and kind. And finally, find steadfast friends who will always be there whenever you need them. As a wise man once told us, Mr. Hosking, you are the average of the 5 people closest to you. Amongst you all, find the average. I'm doing pretty well. And as I move forward, I will look for people who will keep my average high, and I hope you all will do the same. So after C, community, we have U, unity. It's really working well. And so to understand something, U for understanding, that means more than just having a surface level knowledge of a worldview. In order to truly understand a different perspective, we need to examine how and why different groups formulate knowledge about the world. This is where our TOK tools come in handy. I know that's gross, TOK, but like you were saying, it's very important in the real world. But by knowing how knowledge is formed, we can empathize and understand with different perspectives. Only when you commit to fully understanding a new framework or ideology can you be justified in making any conclusions about its validity. I feel like the best way to articulate this is with the bananagrams metaphor. Bananagrams is an amazing game. It is so good. A lot of the people here have played it. If you haven't played it with us, you've heard us play it. It's loud, but it's a great game. Go home and buy it. So when you pick up an undesirable letter in bananagrams, or a belief you're inclined to resist, don't quickly dump it because it doesn't fit into the established framework of your board. Take time to think and understand the tile. What words could it form? What's its potential as a letter? Only then are you justified in dumping it for 3 different ideas. These are the rules of the game. If you played, you should know. Always remember the quickest way to lose in bananagrams is to keep your board stagnant. So continue to move your ideas. Move your tiles, alter your ideas, and accommodate for the new concepts coming from the pile. Only with this fluid mentality of understanding will you be the one that shouts, bananagrams. It's what you shout when you win the game. So, C, U, no, no, no. C, community, U, understanding. Finally, we have P for passion. David Hume, the original TOK, got it right when he said, reason is, and ought only to be, a slave of passions. Human reason should be used as a way to direct and concentrate your passions, nothing more. Perhaps you all have found what you're looking for, what you care deeply about in your time here. Or maybe you're still looking. But once you find something that makes your eyes bulge with excitement, your heart start to beat fast and everything just go crazy, lose your inhibitions and pursue that thing. This is easier said than done, for sure. I've yet to find something that makes my eyes bulge outwards. Or maybe I have, I just thought the eye bulge was unrelated. But if and when you find this elusive element, be sure to live out this passion. This is not to say that reason is useless. We treat all ways of knowing equally here. But be sure that you use reason as a way to make your passion effective. Allow reason to be the man-made dikes and dams that can harness and distribute the positive force of your passions. Cup. Community, understanding, and passion. One final acronym to keep with you as you travel into the gaping uncertainty of your future. It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it. I hope that as you go on to this next stage in life, this cup will serve as an encouragement. I truly believe that our time in IB has fostered these things, and I know that you all will continue to pursue these ideas in the future. Every time you're feeling down, I hope you can take a sip of encouragement from this cup. Let it be your chalice, your holy grail, if you will. Please don't let it be your red solo cup. Don't let it be your red solo cup. Don't do that. So my hope for all of you is that in the future, we all find a dynamic, supportive community like this one, pursue true understanding as we have in these 2 years, and follow our passions as they surge forwards. Thank you all. Thank you to the teachers and to the parents who have supported us throughout this long journey. Thank you.
Thank you, Avery. You're really quite good at this. I hope you have the opportunity sometime in the future to do this again. I would like to now invite Tura and Ms. Collins to join me on stage for the handing out of the IB Diploma Program Class of 2015 certificates and medallions.
in school in a few days. We're rusty. Please hold your applause until all candidates have been recognized. Chris Bacolia. Melanie Eva Berriman. Cole Wayne Buckaloo. Kylie Catherine Burns. Patrick Butler. Jackson McLean Cates. Isabella Sermon. Brennan Colucci. Caitlin Colucci. Sarah Cox. Molly Crabb. Walter John Creech. Anne Marie Delmedico. Zachary Paul DeMartz. Craig Allen DeVore. Alec Duncan. Alexandra Duncan. Tristan Shaw M. Natalie Ferguson. Oliver Ficker. Riley Jane Finnegan. Benjamin Richard Fisk. Madeline Faye Fleischman. Marissa Ritter Florentino. Morgan Elizabeth Flowers. Emily Susan Fordyce. Malin Forsberg. Olivia Alexandra Gilliland. Haley Ryan Glick. Samantha Goodrich. Abby Claire Elise Gosling. Mark Thomas Hallman. Marin Kimberly Harold. Christina Massey Hayward. Alexandra Howland Hickson. Grayson Holmes. Justin Thomas Irene. Marion Michelle Isdahl. Christine Samantha Johnson. Sophia Oliphant Kenny. Kevin Patrick Key. Taylor Kiara Keys. Ashley Nicole Kaiser. Sarah Kahn. Carrie Ann Kleitch. Brenna Marie Knight. Stephen L. Costello. Kyle C. Lasavita. Matthew Clark Legate. Louise Christine Lindegard. Delia Rose Lasapio. Julia Elizabeth Barron. Marin. Matthew Thomas McCloskey. Avery Lee McClure. Zoe Jean Milburn. Omar Mode. Aaron Lindsay Monahan. Muna Niemer. Nadezhda Pearl Perishkova. Paige Louise Plospinos. Ekaterina Popov Turkina. Jose Ignacio Cintas. Margaret Eleanor Smith. Nathania Joy Smith. George William Sterling III. Jordan Todd Sterrett. Shaughnessy Alexis Annette Stevens. Kayla Christine Stewart. Travis Reed Stoker. Kayla N. Taylor. Donovan Xavier Taylor. Camille Thompson. Cameron Townsend. On Tran. Tyler Trzynski. Elizabeth Mary Underkoffler. Christian Dave Raimundo Villazor. Ashley Turner White. Ashlyn Morgan White. Bradley Willamy Jr. Sarah Lee Wong. Nicholas John Zajac. Please join me in a round of applause for our
So much of what I had decided I wanted to say has already been said. I do want to repeat though, because it's worth repeating. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to the parents for everything you've done over these past few years, 2 years and longer to support the students. Thank you for what you've done over the past 2 years to support the program. It means a tremendous amount. Thank you to my administration, to Ms. King, to Ms. Ventura for the support and the collaboration, and to Ms. Collins for everything that you've done. And thank you to the staff, because for making it all happen, for helping them and guiding them through. So because so much of what I was going to say has already been said, I'm going to keep this brief, though I know that Hoskin doesn't believe that or think I'm capable, nor do any of these agree. So, ready? Go. This, let me at least start. This is our third IB diploma class, and it's our largest. 2 years ago, we had the pleasure of graduating 29 students. When last year, 80 plus signed up, I was a little nervous, a little overwhelmed, but thrilled all at the same time. And one of the things that happens, this is 180+% increase in size in a very, very short time. And what happens is when that size, that community grows, the group grows, there's one concern that I have that might or might not be founded, and that is that the sense of community might be different. The dynamic might be different, because we talk about the importance and the value of community in this program. In addition to everything else, all that they gain, we talk about community. And so when you have all of a sudden 80 plus students, 83 who have successfully made it all the way through, you worry that how big can it be? But I think we've seen already through the tribute that your colleagues offered and through the speech that Avery gave that there's no worry here about community. The community in this group is strong, it's tight, it's collaborative. And it's impressive to me, and it's wonderful to me. And every time you have a group, and like I said, we've only had 3, but every time you have this group come through, you see a personality grow. You have all these individual personalities, and then you have this group personality. And so I wanted to see how I can capture what is that personality of this particular group. And the more I think about it and try to capture it and boil it all down into the one word, because I'm keeping this brief, is pleasant. They're just really, really pleasant. And I know that doesn't sound terribly earth-shattering. It might seem a little innocuous. It's not riveting. But I don't want to underestimate its importance and its value. These students, we challenge everybody that comes through this program. We work them. Okay, they've written reams worth of English papers and history papers. Constructed and conducted countless experiments, whether it's physics or biology or chemistry. They've done the work. They have passionately written over 200,000 words of extended essay. And they've done over probably around 4,000 hours of community service. And that's a small piece of what they've done. And we do that anytime someone comes in this program, we challenge them. What's most interesting is how they respond to that challenge. What type of attitude do they bring in? And I always tell them, I tell anybody who's willing to listen to me, that the key to success in this program, as with so many things, is attitude. Because we're going to make you do what we've made everybody else do. The question is, how are you going to take it? How are you going to respond? How are you going to approach it? And they approach it with grace. They approach it with class. They approach it with a smile on their face. And while pleasant might seem like a relatively simple and innocuous term, what's behind that is so very important. They are riveting, which I think Avery McClure just demonstrated. And they are absolutely mind-blowing. If you had been to, say, for example, the Ivy Art Show earlier this year, you will see the talent that these students have. They are artistically talented. They are athletically talented. They are intellectually talented. I have no doubt that they can go out into the world and do wonderful, wonderful things, great things, big things. What I know about them is that they're going to go out there and do good things. And people are going to want to work with them because they are pleasant, because they are kind, because they are compassionate. And that makes all the difference. These folks go out there with an attitude that embraces challenge. I appreciate that some of them weren't quite as passionate about the extended essay all the way through to the end. But every single one of them in here did it. Every single one of them in here fulfilled every requirement of this program. And every day I walked into that class, I never was concerned about how they were going to receive me, because that's the benchmark. Do they smile or do they scowl? And there was a very little scowling. I'm okay with that. Actually, it was greatly appreciated. And so as you go off into the world, I'm excited for not only you, but for the people that you're going to encounter. Because we're better for having had you with us in this program, and the world will be better for having the opportunity to engage with you. In a short time, you're going to be off out around the world, around the state, around the country, around the world, and you're going to thrive. You're also going to be challenged, and especially in the latter, I want to make sure, I hope that you remember what you did here, what you were able to accomplish. No doubt there were times when you wondered if you could. There were days, I think it was a Tuesday, and you wondered if this was the day that I'm just done. But you made it to Wednesday, and then to Thursday, and then 2 years later, here you are. When you leave here, don't forget what you're able to accomplish. Bite off big chunks. Be ambitious. Seek out those opportunities. Enjoy the world as you make the world a better place. Now, I'm no doubt that I'm not alone when I tell you how excited I am, the potential that you have and what you'll do. So go out there, be great, have fun, and soak it all in. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please now stand for the recessional. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to now invite you to join us in the cafeteria for a brief reception. Thank you for being here. Give me just one moment. Oh, Molly, just leave it.